show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Candid Talk Show Podcast. We got another one, very, I would say a touchy topic for some. Not for us, because we know we actually respect people's opinion. We don't expect everybody to have the same opinion. But when it comes to us, it's also peace and love is understanding. So we try to get to a point where we understand, but we may not agree. You know, it is what it is. But this one, we're going to have spirituality versus religion. Before we even get started, actually, give me a minute. I'll be right back. I actually want to set something up real quick. I want to get these definitions and everything accurate for the viewers. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back to you. Hey. All right, I got that set up. Waiting for a few of my panel to actually get into the room. But before we get started, happy Sunday, everybody. Everybody that's actually online, checking it out. Please make sure you share, like, comment. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. Definitely hit that bell so you can see all the new videos coming out when we actually post. We're going to be going live pretty much every Sunday so far, and sometimes on Monday as well for Motivational Monday. That's the goal. And the intent, to open some people's brains. A lot of people are just following. We got a monkey see, monkey do society. And it's kind of, in my opinion, bringing us down as a whole. So the goal is to kind of open people's brains and have them think about something maybe a little bit different or out of your normal. The new normal is drama. Ain't got time for that. Most people shouldn't be wasting their time on drama as well. But overall, like I said, happy Sunday to those. Hope everybody's doing well. If you went to church today, hopefully you heard a good word. Just to let you know, for those that are viewing, this is not talking about anybody's religion. We're just talking about the ideas and the aspects and looking at it from the outside, looking in, so that's really the goal. Let me see. Oh, we got Justice in the building. Justice, you on? Let me see if he on. Peace to the getter, my man. Welcome in. Shit, we getting new viewers, so let them know who you are. Real brief.
Yo, this Justice, the 5% true and living God. Coming here to drop the knowledge today. By the way, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. I feel like on today's podcast, I got to really represent that foundation. You know what I mean?
Heard. Well, like I said, we're not going too far into the religion. It's more about the ideas of it.
And yeah. Oh, I know how to speak.
Societal-wise.
I got you, God.
You gonna have
this my forte. This whole narrative is my whole forte.
You better make sure you know the mathematics. Nah, we not. Listen, families.
I'm going there today.
Word. They're probably, hold on.
In the good way, in the best ways possible. You know what I mean?
Possible. I always like to start off first by trying to define it or actually just come into an understanding. Like we said, we focus on understanding. So,
most definitely.
Matter of fact, when you hear the title, what does that even make you think of when you hear spirituality versus religion? Like, what do you think of when you hear that title, matter of fact?
So, what I think of when I hear spirituality versus religion, it's like, I think of two sides of the same coin, to be honest, because I think of spirituality and religion as really the same thing. They're not really that different, but like, you know, most people, I say spirituality is an individual experience, as in contrast to religion being the collective one. But also, I'm gonna wait till a little bit later to go in depth more so about the definitions and what she was talking about. But hey, yo, guy, I'm not hearing your audio no more. By the way, I'm not getting any audio.
Testing.
Now I got it. Now I got you.
Okay. Sheesh, we don't need those type of issues. Yo, okay. But yeah. As I was saying, like definitely we want to go a little bit more in depth as we build, because I definitely, I'm like I got a way I want to like kind of get into this one, because I've actually done this topic before
Okay.
and had to completely erasing, like this is the second time attempting it, because it got to a point where it was just I'm not gonna say dramatic, but it was just the person or people that was involved, they just didn't want to have a certain outlook just because of, let's say, their career, this and that, you know what I'm saying? So they may have said some things and it was like, please just don't. I'm like, cool, but that's what I'm saying, like, let's keep it as general as possible. We don't want to offend anybody's religion. We don't want to offend anybody's belief in spirituality, but we definitely want to have a understanding of what it is. Miss Matters, you in here? Where you at? I see you. I see you on, but you kind of disappeared. I want to make sure you active. Miss Matter. Miss Matter. Miss Matter. Somebody. Miss Matter.
What you want?
You there? Can you hear me?
I heard her when she first came on,
I heard her for a second too, but I don't know what happened. So if anything, we'll get back to her.
and then her cipher ain't. It vibrate whenever you speaking.
That's a fact. Now that we know that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right. Yeah.
Learn something new every day. Now, let's just start the conversation, I guess. You was kind of actually already breaking down, which my first question was like, what is spirituality? What is religion? You was kind of already going into that. But just give me a clear definition. Now, let's say separate it to like, what would spirituality be? Let's say in your opinion or in your knowledge.
To my current knowledge, let me throw that video on there real quick. So, like, to my current knowledge, spirituality is the practice of fine tuning one's internal, I can say, emotional, mental space to the external environment, be it the, excuse me, the spirit of water, spirit of earth, spirit of fire, horoscopes, different pagan ideas, to be honest with you, when it comes to non-religious or orthodox teachings of the elite, so to speak, or the controlling class, who actually institutionalize religion for the masses for control in the best ways possible, technically. But like, that's how I would separate the two.
So that's spirituality. So what's
That's
religion?
spirituality going into the definition of what religion is. Because they're both technically the same thing, but like religion is the institutionalized sect that the elite put together to control the masses, versus being spiritual is more of an individual experience.
All right, fair enough. Let me see. Well, I actually that ass had to look it up.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what the hell? A lot of times, like it kind of meshes in my brain. I'll be like, is this one? Is this, like you said, it's like one of the, it's like two sides of the same coin. So when I looked up, let me see what spirituality is. It's pretty much like what you said, the quality of being concerned with the human's spirit or soul as opposed to the material or physical things. So pretty much like you said, that inner growth, that understanding of, outside of the norm, I guess I would say. And then when we got religion, what is that defined? The belief in The belief in and worship of a superhuman power or powers, especially God or gods. Hmm. Superhuman. That sounds like some Marvel. I'm not knocking it, but at the same time, it does sound a little bit different because one is definitely, like you said, focusing on self, building self and the soul, while the other one is looking like. See, this is where it gets touchy because I don't want nobody to be like, "What do you
No, no,
mean,
you
like
gotta speak.
Marvel?"
We got freedom of speech, bro. You gotta be able to share your
No,
mind.
no, of course, I'm going
Yeah,
to. Clearly,
yeah, yeah, please, please
I
don't
wasn't
hold
the
back.
person that wanted to remove the clip, so the clip is always loaded over here. That's the point. But when it comes down to definition, literally, like it says, the belief in and worship of a superhuman power or powers, especially God or gods, because there is certain religions that believe in many gods. I don't necessarily bang with that version, but I kind of have some belief in the maybe one God. And then on the spirituality side, literally, like you said, the quality of being concerned with the human spirit and or soul as opposed to the material and physical things. So I guess in the verses, it's almost like you kind of need one with the other. But I guess my question would be, can you be can you be religious without being spiritual, or can you be spiritual without being religious?
Bill, Miss Matters, we see you in action now.
Yeah, Miss Matters. Let
Yeah,
me hear. So I gotta make sure you
my
actually
doctor was
active.
showing me. She was showing me some different stuff that I can do. So I'm learning this system.
You learning the app, or you on the computer? That's
I'm
what
on
it
the
is.
computer.
You
Yeah,
powering up.
I'm probably trying to get a little bit more professional, but I'm learning it. It's
Now we
pretty dope.
good. Let's stay on topic though.
It's pretty dope.
Let's stay on topic. I
So
want to know:
um,
can you be spiritual without being religious, or can you be religious without being spiritual?
I mean, yeah, you can because it's either or. You know,
Is it
I'm not.
either or?
Yes,
Hmm.
to me, in my perspective. I'm not a religious person, but I'm very spiritual. I used to be very religious. I used to believe in the Christian way, you know, and certain things, but spirituality is just its own original thing. Spirituality comes with spirituality is an act. Religion is something that is what's the word I'm looking for? Religion is a set of things. Spirituality to me is an act of who you are, of what it is, the essence of who you are. So many words. Yeah, you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I was you. Can I piggyback real quick?
Sure, sure, of course.
So, like, how I would define it, because, like, I let me just set the record straight with this, just to throw a slick curveball at the verses. It's like you got spirituality versus religion, right? But like both of them don't make any sense whatsoever unless you have this third factor of knowledge of self.
Mm.
You know what I mean? When you have knowledge of self now, that brings in a new element of like self awareness before you even get to the spiritual concepts or the religious ideology. Because in today's world that we've been talking about over the past few weeks, it's like when you think about the mindset of people of today, it's like we all free thinkers. We ain't nobody religious no more. But it's like people
No, that's
haven't been
right.
so far away from their like true sense of being a kind or a respectful person more than ever. So it's almost like we need to bring a little bit of religion back, high key.
But that's
But
a
it's
part
like
of spirituality. Your spirit. That's a part. Your spirit. Okay, we have different types of spirits.
true. Well,
Spirituality. You know what I mean?
well,
So
go ahead, peace. My bad. I ain't
no,
mean to cut.
I just would think, religion to me is you set into a category of things. You're set in a certain way, but spirituality is the way of being. Like,
Well, so check it like this. This is something that I actually share with a lot of my 5% brothers because we are actually anti-religious. Like that's something we say we are pro-righteousness, anti-religiousness. Like we like to share with people how to think, not what to think.
Right.
So when it comes to the action in which you speak of when it's into spirituality, I almost look at that as like a religious person's devotion. You know, like that's their action toward their faith and how they pray. In my opinion, I can say the most devoted religion out there is Islam and a lot of Jewish people. But it's like when it comes to their devotion and to how they actually believe into their faith, like it ain't necessarily nothing wrong with that when you see somebody living like a religious lifestyle righteously. It's just
Right.
whenever the ideas don't match up with the person. And I
Mhm.
see that a lot in spirituality. It's like a lot of people who claim spirituality and they into the crystals and stuff like that. But it's like the quality of who you are as a person, high key piss poor. And that's like the same problem we have with religion. It's like, I don't know if you've seen that movie Book of Clarence, but it's like you see the people that's following Jesus and shit, but they all like the disciples was some dickheads. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's just like
Right.
people miss the point, they miss the mark. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. That's why I look at religion and spirituality as the same if you don't have knowledge of self, which is like a sense of like purpose within it, which is how you were saying, explaining like that action within the
Yeah, that's
spirit.
why I don't think they're the same. I don't believe they're the same. I can't look at it as the same because I was listening to KRS-One. He was doing a service today, and he was talking about religion. He was talking about what God said in the Bible. He said God said, "Spread the word to different creatures, not just humans." He said the creatures to everybody. So that means the animals. That means everything understand the word. Everything understand the um, the spirituality of love. That one thing is love, But a cat understand your love. A bird, if you give them seeds, understand it. The way he was preaching it, it was like, he did it in a religious way, but he was saying it in such of a way where it doesn't take all that. It takes one common thing, one answer, and that's love. And to
I can
me,
see that.
that's spirituality. That's my, love is, that's my spirituality. It's not a religion. It's an act
Yeah,
of,
I can see that.
you know, I don't look at it as a religion. I look at it as an act of.
So the point, another point that I kind of failed to hit was like you ever heard like somebody do something religiously? Like doing like religious as like I guess that can be like an adjective or like an adverb.
Hmm.
Like I smoke weed religiously.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I drink my coffee religiously. I skateboard religiously. So it's like I think that act of devotion is something that we kind of like missing out on when it comes to like how we manifest ourselves. And the first way humans manifested themselves with wisdom in a certain higher form of like thought process, because it was like particularly when we talk about the Bible, we talk about what God said, right?
Hmm.
But like that mystery God in which the Christians speak of had to be spoken or anthropomorphized, which means humanized by a person. So God is always going to be a man or a woman, whatever you might want to psychologically view that as to make sense within yourself. But like the superhuman is always going to be a human. It's just a human that's better than normal humans, which is how I look at it all the time, is just an evolved person.
All right. I'm actually back. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I had some technical issues.
You
I was
Gucci?
listening, definitely catching on. But overall, and I want to add this in, especially because it seemed like you already moved past my second question anyway.
No.
Now, when it
What was your
comes
second
to,
question?
huh?
What was your second question?
It's irrelevant. We already passed it.
Oh,
So
okay.
the question that I have overall is, does being either actually affect a person's morality, and the lack thereof, how does that actually affect the morale or morality of us as a community?
Justice, you got that one.
Oh, okay.
I agree. I
I
agree.
want to
I'm
hear
listening.
from you, Matters. Nah, I want to hear from you.
No,
We already
no,
know
no.
Justice gonna say a lot. He got a lot to say. I want to hear that from you.
I
But
know,
we
but I'm
talking to
going
Miss
to take
Matter.
that one because I agree. It does. So please explain
It
why.
does what though? It does what?
What you mean?
Affect morale and
Yes, it does. It does affect us, and Justice going to explain why.
No, I'm not. Nope, nope. No, I'm not.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
hitting my mute.
No, give me a second because I'm doing something. So go ahead. I had to, had to play it off. But
You say so.
no, seriously, I just had somebody walk in. So give me 1 second.
that's fine. I'm gonna add into what pretty much I wanted to piggyback off
But
what
I
Justin
do
was
agree.
saying. Like overall, when we come to spirituality and religion, I think about religion more like a diet plan, and spirituality is like the body. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you do need a little bit of a diet to help you get to that perfect body. You know what I'm saying? Some people need that. Now there's some people that don't need a fucking diet. Let's be honest. Like they could be fit as hell because they've been working on self, or they have understanding of self, they have understanding of others. So maybe they don't need it. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I think they kind of do align with each other. And you can reject, but understanding of what religion is, I think can help out when it comes to the spirituality side. Some people try to do it, or they say they're spiritual. I say fake spiritual, and they never really
Mhm.
focus on self. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different. I think when it comes to actually understanding the religious side, it actually just forces you to have some type of accountability,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
use some type of guidelines
And give you
Right.
versus you just saying,
structure.
"Oh, I'm spiritual. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna live free. I'm gonna."
Yep.
What does
And
that
that's
mean?
exactly like
God,
high key G. That's exactly what I was saying. Because it's like, like G. I'm born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, which is like in the heart of the Bible Belt. Which is like you either Christian or you a fucking heathen type deal. So it's like, so being rebellious toward that way of living, that way of thinking, it's like I did try to find refuge in like my psychological essence, because I didn't even know what psychology and philosophy was until I was like in my early 20s type
right.
shit. Because I didn't go to college, you know what I mean? Like I don't know nothing from nothing. But it's like,
College don't really teach you that.
no, but I feel like if you go to college and you take that philosophy or that world's religions class, like a lot of people who I would end up talking to,
Yep.
like I feel like the only way you can get that type of knowledge is if you either go to college for it or somehow become like a Freemason and go through like some type of Masonic background. And then typically, if you go through that background, you end up religious and end up becoming like a deacon or like a pastor of a church or something, which ultimately leads you to that religious side, And it's like, no, it's like when and to my experience, just to go into it a little more, it's like when when you start to want to find out more about what's out there, like, you want to learn more about yourself, you want to learn about the world. And when you get some understanding, you want to learn about the universe. It's like religion stops holding a place for those types of ideas. And thus far, you do have to go a spiritual, or to share with y'all. I don't know if anybody know what the word esoteric means, but that's more so what's like spirituality became after a while.
I'm
You
about
know
to
what I
say
mean? Like
esoteric. What that means? Give me that definition. Give it
esoteric
to the
means
audience.
like, well, the esoteric means the secret internal teaching of a doctrine or the hidden messages. You can look it up if you like, just a second back my definition, but most definitely it means like secret teachings or the internal teaching, because that which is internal is like it's more elusive, so it seems hidden. And
Mm.
that can also be taken as
Kind of like
occult
the
as well.
Illuminati.
Well, not nothing like the Illuminati, but unfortunately the Illuminati has taken credit for these types of ideas, because technically the Illuminati means
I'm talking
nothing but
about the not them themselves. I'm talking about the idea of how they carry themselves and the hidden.
most definitely, yeah. The
That's what I'm talking
Illuminati most definitely was an esoteric organization,
about. There we
but
go. That'll make sense to that. You got to break it down where people can understand
yeah,
it. You see
but
what I'm saying?
so
They'll
then you
understand
have, but so
the
that
format.
gets tricky because you have esoteric organizations and then you have esoteric teachings, which are two different things. Like an esoteric organization ain't nothing but a secret society. of people. You know, they don't that don't mean the esoteric organization is actually dealing with esoteric knowledge. Like you can be at a church somewhere, and your church might happen to deal with the esoteric teachings of Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And all churches don't teach the esoteric teachings of Christ. So it's just like it can be a little confusing to learn if you don't, I don't know, really have a background of what that means. So it can get a
That's what
little
you're giving
confusing.
right now, right? You
Yeah,
giving
no,
the
yeah, I'm
background.
breaking it. But that, like, if you had this if you didn't have this
Like, we
conversation
gotta stop.
with,
Don't assume people dumb that's listening to you. That's why we gotta break it down
yeah,
for
yeah,
people that
yeah,
may not understand.
I
You see
didn't
what I'm
want
saying?
to or
That's
nor
why I'm
want to.
pushing and breaking it down. I'm trying to give it to the simple mind,
I
so the simple
got
mind
you.
can elevate. You see what I'm saying?
So
We
the
gotta break it
esoteric,
down.
the revisit the esoteric is that which they keep away from you. I'm gonna keep it funky.
The Google definition: intended for or likely to be understood by only a small number of people with specialized knowledge or interests.
There you go.
Esoteric.
There you go. And those are the few people. That's what I'm saying. It just seems to catch on by the few.
I think that's knowledge in general, though. A lot of times, when in this generation, because they don't
And
want to learn
and to
nothing.
circle back all the way through, that's why it's only 5%, God,
Yeah.
at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Only 5% of people really gonna get it. You know? I'm here to service the 85 because, they don't know. But it's like all we can do is share and show them the way that, like, if you want to go to religion, it's all good, technically. If you find your refuge in spirituality, that's all good too. Just be better out here, bro. That's really the whole message, for real. Just do better,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I feel like spirituality and religion ain't did nothing but try to be better, make us be better. And
Yeah.
that's why I want to share that at the end.
Now, when it comes to spirituality, let's say, and religion, do you think it's more, let's say, how do I put the word? Does it get brought? Does it get negative assertion based on the leaders? Like, is it being corrupted by the people that are actually trying to share these messages more than the actual practices themselves? Like, do you think that has a play or a part in why people are actually removing themselves from these type of, like, because on both sides they're removing themselves from religion and spirituality? From what I'm seeing, people are just flying. They're just living worldly, pretty much. If I'm gonna keep it candid. So, do you think it's the leadership that are actually giving these messages that's kind of deterring people from either going spiritual or religious? What you think matters?
Yeah, it's some of the leadership. However, I do feel like it's so much at people's hands where it's so much knowledge out there now where you can just scroll or somebody talking about this, somebody talking about that. It's so much going on out there. It causes people to say, "Okay, forget it." I don't know what's true or not. I don't know what's going on, and it's fearful. I think to not know if you're going in the right direction. So I don't think it's necessary just blamed on leadership,
Mm-hmm.
but it does play a role. It does play a role. The leadership nowadays are totally different from how it was back in the day. I mean, like it's totally different. Like our neighbors used to come whoop our ass and discipline us, and we all used to come together as a community and pray, and discipline and teach one another. But nowadays, you got the internet teaching you. You got
That part.
the schools teaching you. So yeah, leadership it's different. Then you got lean with it, rock with it in the churches. You know what I mean?
I did just see that recently. Man, I
You
did
know,
just see something like
hey,
that recently. I
it is
definitely
what
seen
it
something
is.
like that recently.
They doing the stinking leg in the choir. You know what I mean?
Don't go to that congregation. I'm talking. I'm
And then
joking. I'm
getting swallowed up.
joking.
Getting
I'm joking.
swallowed up. Yeah,
But
nah,
like,
that's wild.
but on some real though, back to your thing, but back to the question you asked, OG. I think it
Yeah.
is a big emphasis that needs to be on the leadership though, just because like who the role models or who are the true representations of what it means to be righteous.
Right.
more or less even civilized. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have any proper representations of just how to be that way. So it's like we all gonna lose our way if ain't nobody more or less showing and proving.
Hmm.
'Cause we all got to learn from somebody.
That's a
Hmm.
fact right there. And I actually got another question based off of that. And really is really like upbringing. Do you think upbringing has changed to the point where it's nobody in the homes pushing towards either that spiritual side or that religion side? Do you think that's completely dead in the home?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
What do you think
I,
Big
keeps
I'm
it
time.
off?
Is that I mean, I remember I was just talking to my friend about that back in the days when I had my son, my daughter. They're 25 and 22. When I first had them, we didn't watch TV. We used to read. We used to read the Bible. Now in 2024, 20, me and my 10-year-old, look, where is your phone? Go get your tablet. It's I'm a victim of it. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. At least you honest. I like it. Keeping
Yeah,
it
right.
90.
Respect to that.
You know, it's different. It's more, and then like I said, everything is at everybody's fingertip. Like just you can go outside and be a millionaire. You can like everything is right there. You know what I mean? As long as you willing to put in the work.
Justice, if you don't got nothing to add, or do you have something to add? Because I want to piggyback off of what she just said.
Go ahead. No, yeah, I got it. Go ahead.
All right. So, do you think it's part of the agenda to remove spirituality and religion from the home to order and, like he was saying, to control? Because before it was the idea that religion was able, like, pretty much meant to control. But do you think the removal of those disciplines, is
Hell,
part of the agenda to control us?
these mother suckers that lost their rabbit ass minds out here. I'm telling you.
That's always been the agenda. I'm gonna be real with you. That's always been the agenda. But however,
See?
you need to instill some type of fear. They need that fear for them to be able to control.
Mm. What do you mean
So,
by fear, though? Which part is? What do you mean? Which
okay,
part is the fear?
with the religion, you're gonna go to hell if you don't do such and such and such and such, or even with voodoo, whatever. You know what I mean? They're not gonna just take it. They need some type of fearful. You know how like they be showing these scary movies and shit. Ghost and zombie. Different shit they be showing. It's all a part of the agenda. You know what I mean? And that's all a part of instilling that fear
So
into the
is religion
masses.
agenda? That's what you're saying? You saying religion in general is an agenda?
I'm not saying it is an agenda, but I feel like that
That's kind of how you explain it. That's why I'm asking.
I'm not saying what I'm saying is that that's what they've been doing. They've been trying to
So
take
that's a
away.
yes to my question. Then do you
Yes,
just
I said that.
like that? So I'm saying be clear about your message. That's why I'm
I,
asking because that's exactly
I'm
how you sound.
explaining why. If you
I'm,
listen,
I am listening, but do you hear yourself?
yes, I hear myself very clearly, and I can't wait to rewatch it.
Fair enough. You know I'm gonna post the clips. That's why I
Don't do
wanted
it.
to make sure you meant what you said, and if you
Yes,
didn't,
I
maybe you
do
want to
agree.
rephrase it. You know what I'm
But
saying?
I
I was
do
giving you a
no,
chance
I
to
do
rephrase.
agree. I really do agree. I like really do agree. They're trying to. That's all the part of the agenda. All of that.
So the
All of that.
removal of it, how is that adding to the agenda then? Because that was pretty much my question.
So can I add on?
Sure.
So like something that I was just building with somebody about yesterday was like the lineage of Black Afrocentric consciousness in America, because a lot of people don't know about that. So the lineage of Black Afrocentric consciousness in America is going to, in me explaining it, answer your question, which is like the first large movement started with Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey with the United Negro Improvement Association. And that's where red, black, and green come from. That was the first person speaking about Black liberation of Black consciousness. Parallel to Marcus Garvey, you had Noble Drew Ali, who came out with the Moorish Science Temple of America. who taught that we weren't Negroes or black, that we're actually Moors, and that's our culture and where we came from. By the way, each one of these Afrocentric ways of thinking came accompanied with a religion. Marcus Garvey was Christian. Morrison's Temple of America follows like an American Islam in a way. It's kind of weird. They don't read the Holy Quran, but they have their own special Circa 7 Quran book.
Mm-hmm.
And then parallel to that, you had different other black leaders throughout America. Like in St. Louis, there was a group called Fa'ame. They dealt with like ancient Kemetic science. So you had these different religious movements that helped create black liberation within our thought process to liberate our community, ourselves, and our families. So it's like every time we had a black leader along with the religion accompanied with it, he was assassinated. The movement was taken down by an FBI group who is known today as COINTELPRO under J. Edgar Hoover, who felt as if all black people needed to be subservient to the white race in America. We needed to be put in our place. So during this time, I would say throughout the 40s, throughout the 60s, every black conscious group that came to liberate us out of the Jim Crow era and slavery and to put us back into the state in which we was before was shot down, brought down, fucking conspiracy, like, you know what I mean? Conspiracies put up against. We was just, every time we tried to take a step forward, we end up taking 3 back because of white supremacy, and the government did not, it wasn't a part of the agenda for us to truly be free. So therefore, with this history of all these black teachers being killed and taken down, it's like next you got the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you know what I mean, with the first edition of the Nation of Islam in America. And you know how that message went, created Malcolm X. You know, and it's like as Malcolm X came out with his version of Islam, they assassinated him. And it's like every single black religious teacher who comes to liberate the black man and woman through that liberation liberates our family. And through that liberation creates a better sense of community, ultimately gets shot down by the American government. So therefore, across the board, it is an agenda to break down our communities. It is an agenda to break down our minds and to keep us subservient to ignorance. And with that, I'm going to say peace.
What was my question? I can't even remember myself.
Does taking religion outside of the house actually is that a part of their agenda? Because at first we used to think that religion actually make us feel control. But is it a part of the government or the ominous they, you know what I mean, that we speak of? Is it a part of their agenda to remove religion out of the household? And that's why I started breaking down the history of black consciousness and how every time we started to establish a sense of religion in our household, it got broken down. And that is their agenda.
All right, just making sure you remember.
Yep. I was on it, bro. I'm tuned in, God. Come on now. Tuned in, God.
All right. So definitely to this point, you believe that them removing, I guess, spirituality and religion is another form of agenda to control people?
High key, yes.
So, well, I don't even think that's just black or in our community. I think that's the entire world at this point. Anybody that's not in power or smart enough to see between the lines at this point is, I feel like we're just getting, the people around us are just getting dumber. Like
Yeah, that's true
overall.
too.
And we kind of, I was just talking online about it. It's like a monkey see, monkey do type of mentality that seems like it's being promoted more than anything. And that's where the word trending or trendy or they use
So,
that word more than anything to get
right.
you to follow. Like, hey, this is trending, aka, hey, you should follow this or you should do exactly what this is. You know what I mean? So,
So when it comes to the trend, what you saying that you don't think that trending things have a targeted demographic?
if, of course, but if we're all being programmed to follow what's trending, you see what I'm saying? I think that's the part that everybody's just losing their minds at, or let's say without the discipline or some type of discipline, whether that be spirituality or religion or religious belief, whatever, how we want to say it.
Yeah.
you kind of just easily fall into what every worldly view or worldly trend that's going on. You don't have nothing, no backbone, pretty much. You have nothing to fall back on.
And that's how, and the culture, God, we say people don't got no foundation no more.
Oh yeah, of
It's like
course.
when you don't got no foundation, you ain't got no commitment to nothing. And when you ain't got no commitment to nothing, you just gonna fall for everything.
Mm.
So that just be on people fault at the end of the day versus anybody else. You know?
Now I'm actually looking at this chart where they have like spirituality, just to bring it back to the original topic, spirituality versus religion. They kind of broke down they have it like on two different sides, and it's kind of aligned with everything that we've already been saying. So let's say on the spirituality, I'm gonna just do both. I'm gonna say spirituality, and then I'm gonna just break down what it says on the religious side. Now, spirituality, as we were saying, personal, religion, community oriented. We kind of said that already. Spirituality emphasizes on wisdom. Religion emphasizes on knowledge. You know, spirituality side, it says goal is love and freedom. That's what Miss Matters was saying.
Yeah, she hit
Um, she hit that on the top of the damn
that money.
bullseye. And then it says on the religion side, the goal is obedience and salvation.
That's interesting. I can see
That's
that. That's not
word.
off. That's
That's
not off at all.
that's whew. All
That's
right.
pretty on point.
Huh? What you got on that?
No, I said that's not off. Like, especially when it comes to Abrahamic religions, like all them motherfuckers talk about being obedient.
Yeah.
You
They
know?
strict with that shit too. Strict as hell. The next one was saying spirituality side is feelings based, and the religious side is more thought based. Could you
Hmm.
see that,
Uh,
or would you disagree with that one?
I would
I don't
technically
know. I'm in
disagree with
between.
that because of how the definition in which you spoke about religion is based off belief. And
Yeah.
if you believe in something, that means you're not really thinking about it. You just believe it to be
Oh,
true.
the only reason why I'm kind of like this with that one is because I would think you have to. I would think your feelings go into what you believe. You know,
Okay.
I don't know. That's just me. Because if I feel it and it makes me feel a certain way, then I believe it more. You know, I think most people that describes why they even religious is because they saying the feeling that I got when I heard that message. You know, or that.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I'm like maybe, but that's the way they broke it down. It says spirituality side is feelings based and religion is more thought based. But hey, I'm gonna just keep going though because that was
Oh,
the
yeah,
only one.
yeah, keep hitting them.
You know what I mean? But let me see the next one. It says spirituality focuses on experiencing internal divinity. Ooh.
Uh-huh.
And then the religion side focuses on obeying and devotion to an external divinity.
Hmm.
That's I'm gonna just keep going.
Yeah, right.
Spirituality, present oriented. Heaven is within you now. And then we got religion side. It says future oriented. Heaven is where you go when you die.
That can be up to debate because I've heard of religious people start to adapt the idea of that heaven and hell are states of mind instead of a place that you go to when
Mm-hmm.
you die.
I've heard that as well. I've
By
heard that as
religious people,
well.
I've heard religious people say that. So I'll but for the
That
most
one is
part
another
though,
one, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that's
yeah.
a
But to the point of whatever you're reading from as a
oh, and
general
it's on
consensus,
lonewolf.com. My bad. I didn't even give the reference.
yeah, it's like to what they're speaking of. Generally, yes, to a religious person, you do not experience heaven until you die.
Yeah. The
Technically,
people that pretty much from the book. You know what I'm saying?
you know, high key that is what they think.
Yeah, facts. All right, let me go to this next one because this I kind of agree with this one from what I'm saying. So spirituality side is oneness oriented. We are all one, pretty much. And then they got the religion is duality oriented. Good, evil, right, wrong, heaven, hell. I can
Mhm.
I absolutely kind of agree with them. That's the way I see it when it comes to religion versus
But what's
spirituality.
like when it says like the it says that what was it for
First one.
spirituality? Yeah.
Oneness oriented, oneness, meaning that
Okay.
we are all one, pretty much. We
Yeah,
all
yeah,
connected.
yeah.
That's kind of what I believe. Just to share my belief, I believe we all connected. Whether there is a God above, I believe that energy comes down, and we kind of share that overall, and that's how we connected. But I'm a weirdo
No,
when it comes to
I'm
shit
with
like
you on that. I got to say, and it's like it's only one consciousness in the universe. It's up for you to tap into it or not.
that. I'm
You
with
know.
you. See, that's what I. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, so this next one is only about what 3 or 4 more. So it says on the spirituality side is informal, and then on the
Mhm.
religious side is more formal.
Yeah, I can see that
Yeah,
because it's
that makes sense.
traditional versus non-traditional.
Exactly. They could have
Yeah.
they could have used that word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Traditional versus non-traditional, and
But
then
like, but because if you think about it, spirituality doesn't really have a form to it.
it
Like when
doesn't.
you
It's
spiritual,
different
it's
ways.
whatever. But
Different ways.
religion most definitely have that structure, which gives it that format that you got a book to read to, and it's like cookie cutter, so to speak.
Yeah, man. I'm 100. I'm agree with you on that one 100%.
Yeah,
All right, so we got 3 more. This one, it says spirituality promotes joy, spontaneity, and compassion. Okay. And then it says on the religious side, it promotes self-sacrifice, devotion, and service to. I don't like the way that sounds. I'm gonna read it again. That just sounds great. All right, religion promotes self-sacrifice, devotion, and service to others.
I can see that for sure.
I definitely can see that for sure. It just sounded crazy. A lot of this on the religion side just sounds like you kind of giving yourself to the cause in a way.
Because
Um,
you are, but like, and this is something I really want to like stress, and this is to the point of this breakdown, this whole bill today.
okay.
Religion deserves two divisions. In the definition of what it is, you have institutionalized religion,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have that personalized religion. That's like real, true religion. Because I think religion gets a bad rap
It
from the
does.
bad leaders it's had in the past.
It does. That's why I brought that up earlier.
You know, like
Right.
just to hit that point again, and it's like that. I don't think that's fair to our ancestors who wrote those scriptures
Yeah.
because those were divine beings. You know what I mean? Those men most definitely had a psychological evolution to become in tune with a higher state of consciousness to write that shit.
Yeah.
Like
You had
word is
to.
bond.
Thanks. You
But it's
definitely
like
had to.
be, just due to the history of us becoming dumber, as we've been talking about. I hate to talk about us like that, but it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Candid
Like,
Talk Show podcast, baby. If
it,
y'all didn't hit that like, subscribe, comment, you know what I'm saying? You just keeping it candid.
you know what I'm saying? But it's like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just leave that one at that.
In
You know.
fact, let me wrap this little chart up. We got 2 more, and I was kind of saying this already. So it says on the spirituality side is low accountability. The religion side is supposed to be high accountability.
I love that.
So I kind of did say that.
You did.
I
You
did
hit
kind of
that one
say
on the
that.
hammer.
Yeah, because all right, let me get the last one out. We could go over it. They
Let's do
said
it.
on the spirituality side it's experiential. Ooh, what the fuck that mean? And then we got on the religious side theoretical,
Experimental.
belief based.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with them last two. I got to experiential. I got to make sure I understand official.
Experimental.
Experiential.
Huh.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, I wonder if there's a typo on that one. I don't know.
that's what I'm saying. Like, wait, experiential. All right,
Because
involving or
then
based on experience. They could have just said, all right, yeah. So it's pretty much based on your experience and
so check it.
observation.
This is why I'm gonna say I disagree with that one.
You do?
I do wholeheartedly
All right. Why do you
because
disagree with that one?
a religious experience like
Mm-hmm.
is an existential one.
But what you just said before that, it kind of aligns with which, like when you think about it, you said like the you said the division. You have the
Right.
self religion, right?
Right.
You'll get that because of that experience that you had from that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
kind of why I agree with it now that I looked it up.
You
Because
know
it's
what I'm
based on
saying?
that observation and based on that experience that you got from that religion. And just like we said, with the wrong leader, they can
You know what I mean?
mess
Cause
your
like dead
whole.
ass, I'm like, there's been times I've been in a gospel church, bro, especially during a funeral, and it's
Oh
like,
man, I almost fought
bro,
in the
them
funeral. Go ahead, bro.
and like, and it's like you can be emotionally like accepting of the death that's happening. But
Yeah,
man, you start hearing that gospel music singing in that place, man, it do something to you, bro. Like you can't deny that.
yeah,
You
fact.
know what I'm saying? So it's like I know for a fact that it's something to it. You know what I mean? There's an existential or experimental aspect to religion that we be downplaying on some real shit because we got false leaders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We
You
got a
might
lot of
get
false leaders out
swallowed up.
there.
Follow.
Yo,
I can't let that shit go. Son.
you bet not ever. Actually,
I can't let that one go.
he
Oh
gonna
man.
be
But
he
yeah,
gonna be
man.
past or swallowed up from here on out.
Yo, that's wild.
Why you say it like that, bro?
I don't know, man. I didn't think it was real until I had to. Yeah, man, that was a wild one. He was wild for even saying that. They say his boyfriend walked in and he just changed his whole everything, swallowed. I was just like, sheesh. But
Was he openly? Never mind. Never mind.
I don't know, bro. I'm
Never
gonna answer
mind.
that. I don't know,
Never
bro.
mind. Never mind. Never mind. I
I
wasn't even
don't
going to
know.
ask that question.
Yo, but
It
yo,
doesn't
we
matter.
just talking about the one before the last, the low accountability versus high accountability, like the spirituality versus. I think, like I was saying, when it comes to like the diet plan, that's why I said religion to me personally is more like a diet plan because, like I said, I've done multiple different studies and I try to go with whatever actually suits my spirit, but you know what I mean, or aligns with where I'm at mentally. And it seems like a lot of this shit is aligning into a new path, what I didn't know about. You know what I'm saying?
You
But
know?
overall, like the experience that I got from at least a lot of them, they definitely have a level of like accountability where you kind of feel it's almost like when you cheat on your diet. I keep bringing back to diet because you just feel awful. Like it feels
Because
like
I think because it's like you holding your, from, if I can, and please correct me if I'm wrong,
good.
but it's like the whole idea of having a value system, standards,
Yeah,
and a discipline is to keep you in order for a particular result.
exactly.
You know, for you do these things for solutions.
Mm-hmm.
And when you like fail yourself, ultimately, you shoot yourself in the foot. Of course, you're gonna feel bad. You know, you got this goal, like, because you got to think about this.
Yeah.
I think this the whole reality of religion, and I'm gonna kind of let you kind of take it from there. Where it's like most people come into religion because they hit rock bottom in some fucked up position, and they need to be lifted up on some real shit. You done just lost
Mm-hmm.
somebody, you grieving, and you need to be brought out of this depressed, hellish state. And it's like, if you are trying to get out of a negative state through this medium, be it religion or spirituality, a
Mm-hmm.
new diet plan to get better, and you cheating and you ain't really living up to it, then it's like you should feel shame. You should feel terrible. You should feel those negative emotions that religion is actually supposed to make you feel because now you do know what's right in contrast to what's wrong. And through having that experience, I think we are able to be honest with ourselves and come into some understanding of who we are and what we want to be.
Mm. No, yeah,
You know,
fact. I do agree with that. And I think that's really the like we said, the fight on the inside, your yin versus your yang. That's kind of how I look at spirituality and religion at the same time. Because I feel like if I didn't have a religious background, like or at least my mom, she was hella religious, so it was kind of forced upon me. You know
what
what I mean?
religion?
Uh, she, Christian, but I think she was also I think Baptist or some others at
Oh,
first.
yeah.
And then she went to the later in life, right? The crazy thing is my mom's left out of the religion part and started more focusing on the spirituality. I never understood why or what she seen. Like she never actually fully broke it down, but she was just saying, like it got to the point where she's kind of the way I am now. It's just like
Hmm.
a well of knowledge and start learning from different aspects and just more focusing on love, peace, and more about unity. Because a lot of times I think religion or religious people, I'm gonna say those the religious people a lot of times it adds separation or
It
division.
does.
And I think that's really the problem. Like it doesn't matter what diet plan you on. Like, hey, as long as you're getting results, I think that's the thing that should matter the most. And like we say when it comes to love, love is understanding.
Right.
I don't have to I don't have to understand your religion to understand why you're doing it. And that's
Right.
the only thing that really matters as long as you're getting the results that you need. You know what I mean? The results that you want. And instead, I see a lot, especially online. That's kind of why I put this whole thing together, is because people are fighting. They're like, nah, you got to do it this way. Oh, this religion, and it's like, what?
Oh
Or
damn.
this spirituality, that ain't spirituality. This is spirituality. Like, what are you trying to? It's
Huh.
causing more division than it actually is uniting us together. So
I
that's
think
what I see.
Yeah, I think it's like how I kind of mentioned before, like we get hurt, man, and we get hurt by people that came in the name of whatever. Like, to be honest, to share my personal experience lately, like this has been me since I've been in Atlanta, God, like the 5%ers here, like the
Yeah.
cipher, I don't like any of them.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get
Round them
along with
up,
none of them
Blue.
dudes. The gods, the earths be cool. You know what I mean? The earths are usually cool anyway because they just laid back. But like the gods, they didn't turn the nation of gods and earths into like a whole new religion. It's like mad weird, and I don't rock with it.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm real heavy on that individual experience and how you live your life amongst the people who ain't even a part of what you a part of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you worked with me, G. You know I treat everybody with the same level of respect, but it is a special acknowledgement when it's peace to the God, though. You know what I mean? When I see you come in, or one of somebody who got knowledge yourself and have put time into learning the sciences to be better, I'm gonna most definitely give you a specialized greeting. But other than that, it's peace, brother, peace, sister. It's all
Yeah.
respect and love at the end of the day. And I
Nah,
think that's really what we supposed to have. At least, you know what I mean? What I've learned so far.
I 1,000% agree with that. And overall, that's why I wanted to have a topic like this. Honestly, I'm gonna bring this back probably with a bigger panel
I would love that.
and like get deeper into the conversation.
Yeah.
Overall, like I said, I completely agree with what you just said, and really, it does come down to like what we always say: love is understanding, and I don't have to align with what you align with to understand where you like, as long as it's coming from a place of love and you trying to understand vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, because it's the division when, hey, I can understand you, but they be like, nah, but what you, nah, it shouldn't be no fingers pointing, it shouldn't be no judgments. And I think that's really what it comes down to, the spiritual side. Now, when
Right.
it comes to the religious or being too religious, I don't know if that's necessarily a problem or is that's just a great diet, but I think that sometimes could be a roadblock for a lot of mentalities to even bring a society together. And I think we need more of it. Like we said, the removal of it is kind of bringing, I think, people down. Like kids
I'm
crazy,
Yeah. I'm
people
gonna
just
say this, and I hope this.
reckless.
I hope this help anybody that's listening. One of the best things that I've learned to foster as like a thought process is that everything in the universe is what it is, which means that it's fucking perfect as it is, which
Mm,
gives us a certain freedom to accept things as they are, because if everything is what it's going to be, that means it's perfect and you have the space to grow, to become, or to accept everything in life for what the fuck it is, no matter what's happening. Now we're gonna have our emotional like responses to our subjective experience, of course, but like when it comes to anybody else out there, I mean the redneck racist person, I mean the super black power, you know what I mean, person, the free love hippie person, like everybody has a place in this world because everybody and everything has to exist in order for us to have that universal consciousness.
that's a fact.
Mhm. So it's like next time we see some shit that we really don't rock with or really don't fuck with, take a step back to understand that this motherfucker got the freedom to be whoever the fuck they want to be.
Bars,
You know?
bars. And that's pretty much what we overall, that's what we appreciate in America is the freedom.
Yeah,
So it's
for
freedom to
real.
love, it's freedom to hate. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. But as long as we have understanding, because I even understand some of the people's hate. Let's be honest. If I'm gonna be completely candid, I'm like, I can see where you're coming from. I just choose
Right.
not to go there with you.
Yeah, right. High key. And you know what's wild too, bro? I'm realizing today's mathematics is free culture or freedom, as a matter of fact. And your culture is your way of life. And your way of life, you should be free to live that however you want, you know?
You know what? We're gonna end on that note.
Let's do that, God.
That's
Let's
a
do.
bar and a half. Just let them
to
know
the
where to
God.
find you, man, because you be dropping bars, you be
Yo,
dropping jewels, and somebody might need that insight after seeing this video and some of the other videos we've done already. So let them know, man.
there's Mucho.chi on Instagram. Justice Owens on Facebook. Always got to represent peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Love my universal family, despite the critique. But it is what it is. I gotta share my foundation with the world.
Respect. And you already know your host went to, no, excuse me, Rasheen went to Harris. Don't forget the God. Hey!
There you
All
go.
I want to say is
There you
peace and
go.
love to anybody that
Peace,
watched and
peace.
bless whoever was watching. Don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe so you can actually see when we actually post these videos or whenever we go live on these videos. I will have some more topics and I'm actually growing the panel. So if you're interested in actually talking one of these topics or even having your opposite opinion about one of the topics, comment that below and we will actually go back over it. But for today, that's all. Peace to the God.
Peace.
Yes, sir.